kind of entertainment?
I think it's just great fun when you're out on the street walking and enjoying a beautiful day. It's just a lot of fun.
He's getting a lot of enjoyment out of it.
He is.
He is.
What about you?
I think it's all right. I enjoy listening to him for a little while, and then I can walk away from it.
You enjoy it. How about you, sir?
I think it's fun. It's interesting to watch him. I like the way he has everything hooked up and he can work it all himself. He's good.
You check out any of the other entertainers around the street?
We looked at a couple of them, but this guy is really outstanding.
I saw you talking to Jeff.
Yes, I said I wanted to know his name in case he's ever on TV. I'll say I saw him in St. Augustine.
He's been on TV.
Really?
And he will be again.
Oh, that's wonderful. He's great.
Are you aware they're trying to pass an ordinance to keep these entertainers off of this street?
No, I'm not.
You're not aware of that?
No.
What do you think of the idea?
Well, I don't think it's much of it.
They want to outlaw them playing here for money. What do you think of that?
I think that's lousy.
Not only that, they want to outlaw the artists and craftsmen from the street. What do you think of that?
That's lousy, too.
It brings a lot of people down here.
What do you think about the proposed ordinance to get rid of them, get them off the street?
I think they're making a big mistake. I think they're making a very big mistake.
Well,
I think we need them.
I don't see how he done that. I mean, that's special talent.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I mean, it probably took him like maybe a week to put that together, and millions and millions of people like it. You know, I mean, people come from Boston, New York, Canada, all over the United States just to see something like that. I like it.
I live here, and I think we're getting overcrowded with too many of the, what do you call these? This, with all of these different things that they do.
What do you call them?
Well, they're kind of like street people in a way, but I like the one-man band.
I don't care.
I don't see how it hurts for them to be out here entertaining. It may in fact bring more trade to these shops. If the shops were just here and these entertainers were not here, they may not get much business.
What do those go for?
Just whatever you like to give me.
19 is 35, 35 plus 29 is 50, 64, 64 plus 13 is 77. Move it out this way. 14 plus 19 is 33, 33 plus 17 is 50 plus 27 is 77. I'm not going to do this, but this one, this one, this one, 77. That one, that one, that one, that one is 77. I'll go diagonally. 28 plus 19 is about 47. 77. This one, this one, this one, and this one is 77. I'll do the ones in the middle. Give it up, people. Let's hear it. Yes. You guys want to see the birdie trick? I said, do you want to see the birdie trick? Yeah. By the way, children, if you have a bird, you want to teach you new tricks. What you never do is you never mistreat the bird. You never punish it when it does something wrong. What you do is you give it a reward when it does something right. Yes. And the moment, I forgot to tell you what you've been watching. What you've been watching is called street performing or street theater. If you've enjoyed my show, I'm not paid to be out here except for by your kind and generous contributions. If you've enjoyed my show, if you can afford it, throw a couple bucks in my hat after my show. It's really what I do for a living, folks. It supports me. It supports my 4-year-old daughter who lives up in Toronto and my ex-wife who lives in New York.
Sir, can I ask you a question? What do you think of these street entertainers?
Oh, I think they're magnificent.
You do?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of talent.
Uh-huh. Well, let me ask you something. Where are you from?
Boston.
Boston. You see a lot of this.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we see a lot of it. Yeah, we do.
Wait a minute, I got a question.
These guys.
All right. Well, what do you think of the fact that our City Commission and Chamber of Commerce trying to pass an ordinance to get rid of these entertainers and artists off the street?
I think they're making a serious error. Frankly.
Bet you're warm.
Not yet.
No?
Give it a little while.
Oh, that's good.
What did you think of yesterday's City Commission meeting?
Oh.
You don't want to talk politics either,
No, that's
right?
okay. There's so much to say about it. Of course, I don't agree with it. I wish that we could come to a better compromise, personally, on a personal level, with the merchants and the city. I just really regret that they're doing this. And, we're willing to fight them legally.
Is this another one of your stage things that you guys like to do?
Pardon me? I didn't catch all of that.
Come on, Walter.
Okay, and you are?
Roger Jolly.
All right, Roger, what are you doing out here today?
Well, we've been out here since Tuesday picketing for at least an hour or 2 hours a day, trying to raise awareness of what the Chamber of Commerce is trying to pull on the people of St. Augustine. They say they're representing everyone, but they really only represent the landlords that own all these shops on St. George Street. And their landlords and their tenants have organized and got the Chamber hot about the terrible problem that there is down here, but there really isn't one.
I've never seen a problem, but what kind of a problem do you think they mean?
Well, they say there's a public safety danger of some sort, and I've never seen a dangerous artist or a dangerous musician on St. George Street.
Is that by any chance anything about the new ordinance that you've got there? In
No, actually, this is about how the Chamber led the fight in '95 and in '97 and '98 and '99 to rid the street of artists and musicians. The new ordinances, we haven't even picked them up yet. There's a total ban, a partial ban, and a vending ordinance that is replacing the one that was ruled unconstitutional by a judge recently, at our behalf.
Okay, and I'm gathering that when are they going to decide on this issue?
Monday, March 13th, the exact 5-year anniversary of 95-12, they are going to enact 2003, a total ban, and rid the street of all the artists and musicians. That's what the merchants believe.
Okay, what was 95?
95-12 was the musicians ordinance in 95, where I was arrested for playing for music. It was ruled unconstitutional in 96. The artist ruling, the 22-6 ruling, was ruled unconstitutional in 98, and then again in 2000 by a federal judge. And so they're getting ready to try for number 5, which, by the way, cost about $150,000 in legal bills that the insurance won't pay. That comes directly from the city budget. I'm not the only citizen, and artists and musicians aren't the ones impacted. Everyone that comes to the street will have their choice, what they like to see and don't like to see, taken away from them by the city action. So they're not just violating my rights. Everyone that comes to this city gets the choice made for them, what's going to be attractive or not. And the market decides that. If I'm not attractive as a performer, I go home hungry. They want everything that we do to look falsified. Meanwhile, they've falsified every piece of this whole process. The whole process of writing a law is falsified by the chamber's involvement for 10 years. For 10 years, they have lobbied for police intervention, not most of the time. Every single time police came down here and threw an artist or a musician off the street, it was done at their request. They've now hired an attorney. That attorney has lobbied hard for this total ban. The commission's lobbying hard for the total ban, and 3 chamber members who sit on the commission are going to vote as if they don't have a conflict of interest. And the whole process is phony. But so they wanted to pick what we're doing as phony.
Which is concerned musicians and entertainment along St. George Street, and ordinance 2006, which is the lottery system for performers on St. George Street. All of these ordinances are for second hearing, second reading, and a public hearing, and we're going to do them all at once. So all of these are close enough together that we ask that you come forward and share your comments with us on its entirety, because we're going to do this one time on the public hearing. But we ask that if you have a specific comment directed toward one of those ordinances, that you let us know, because they are different. And if you're making some general statements, if you'd like to clarify which ordinance that you're addressing this to primarily, then we would ask that you do so at that time.
I personally was told to get off the street, and I had no business being there, by a store owner, whose name I will not mention. But it's not just the artists and the entertainers who have been irritating people. The store owners have been saying some pretty mean things to us, and we try to take it with a grain of salt. My husband and I are semi-retired. We live on Social Security. We do need to have an extra income. And my husband comes with me. He is unable to work himself. He is suffering from arthritis, but I want to be with him. And apparently, one art gallery owner wrote in saying that it was terrible that the husband and wife sat together on the street. Sorry, but I am going to stay with my husband as long as I have him. And I just really, really wish, as people, that we could all work together, because we see problems, and we know there are problems, and we know when people are annoying you, because sometimes they annoy us too. But I think they could be solved and they could be dealt with.
On the weekend, when we come over to St. George Street, it's usually just to wander around for a while. But we found we can't do that, because we get trapped. As many tourists and locals get trapped on the street. Every time they come, they listen to the musicians. They sit around, they talk to people. They go in and shop. They end up having dinner. This is what we do most of the time. If it wasn't for the activities on the street, we would move through and leave. The shop owners and the restaurateurs would be the losers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Sweet, 125 Phoenicia Drive. We've been through this before, you guys. Now I'm going to say basically the same thing I said before. You can't do this. I've tried it before. It's failed. You've already cost the city, the taxpayers, how much money? Well, we know about the lawsuit for $23,000 to $24,000. I mean, how much in legal fees? It's ridiculous. And at this point, I know I was nice last time. I'm a little more bitter this time. At this point, it's just time for you guys to use your authority, use your strength, your political pull to drop this stupid thing. Just let it go. I've heard all of what we've heard today, and all the excuses against artists and musicians are all lame. They're all lame and selfish. All, you know, it's ridiculous. And all the stuff for it is strong and legal. And you guys spend week after week saying, how can we word this thing, you guys? And Susan's over there, this won't fly, this won't work. And you guys are saying, oh, come on, let it work, let it work. And you're saying, how can we word this so we can slide it under the fence and take these rights away from these people? That to me, that's nothing you guys should be proud of. Len Week's got a beautiful family. You're going to tell your kids when you go home what you do for a living is to try to circumvent the law? Well, what I do is we try to find ways to oppress people's rights. And if the law says we can't do it, why, we're going to spend thousands of hours, thousands of dollars trying to find a way we can do it.
Okay, you second.
I want you guys to stop.
We have a motion and a second to pass the amendments. to amend section.
Can you call the roll, please?
William Leonard?
Yes.
Raymond Connor?
Yes.
Susan Burke?
No.
Mark Alexander?
Yes.
Len Weed?
Yes.
Then we'll need a motion to, if you wish to pass ordinance 2000-09 as amended.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that ordinance 2009 be read as amended, be passed and read by title only.
Not second that.
Ordinance 2000-09, an ordinance of the City of St. Augustine, Florida, repealing Section 22-6 of the Code of the City of St. Augustine, creating Section 22-6 of the Code of the City of St. Augustine to prohibit sale of merchandise and services upon public property, providing penalties, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of the City of St. Augustine, and providing an effective date.
Can you call the roll, please?
William Leonard? Raymond Connor?
Yes.
Mark Alexander?
Yes.
Susan Burke?
No.
Len Weed?
Yes. Next item is ordinance 2003 as amended relating to public right-of-way along St. George Street. Do you have an amendment for this one also?
Yes, sir.
Is that a motion to amend?
It was a motion to amend. That's exactly what I said.
Can you call the roll, please? Commissioner Lennon seconded.
Raymond Connor?
Yes.
William Leonard?
Yes.
Mark Alexander?
Yes.
Susan Burke?
No.
Len Weed?
Yes.
And the next motion would be a motion to, if you, to adopt and read by title only ordinance number 2000-03 as amended.
So moved.
Secondly, I'll second.
Ordinance 2000-03, an ordinance of the City of St. Augustine, Florida, creating Section 22-9 of the Code of the City of St. Augustine to regulate outdoor and street performances and outdoor and street solicitations and solicitors on pedestrian St. George Street from Cathedral Place north to Orange Street and approaching and intersecting public streets, lanes, and thoroughfares, providing penalties, providing for appeals, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of the City of St. Augustine, and providing an effective date.
Can you call the roll, please?
Raymond Connor?
Yes.
William Leonard?
Yes.
Susan Burke?
No.
Mark Alexander?
Yes.
Len Weed?
Yes. I want to thank everyone out there who's come tonight.
I have a question to ask Jimmy.
Okay. And spoken here and for helping us maintain an orderly hearing and commission meeting tonight. And I really think that we have a lot of possibilities that we can do together to accomplish your goals. And I just want you to know that I'll work with you to try to do that. And I think that everybody on this commission would share that that support to try to come up with a solution.
What's your name?
My name is Dustin.
Where are you from?
Originally,
All right.
I grew up in western Pennsylvania and Vermont.
Oh, okay. And are you from St. Augustine now? You living here?
I live in here now,
Okay.
but I come here every winter.
What are you doing here?
Call it a religious awareness experience. I deal with a lot of comparative religion. And I do a lot of comparative religion. I also do some tarot readings. I do a little bit of I Ching, which is like Chinese coin tarot. A little bit of crystal ball work. Mostly mysticism and scattered types of religious awareness.
You folks are married?
Yes, we
Yes. All right. And evidently you work and show your work out here on St. George Street.
Yes, that's right. We're artists.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, about a year.
Okay, well, your work's very nice. Are you doing all right out here?
We're doing fine.
Excellently.
Okay, and evidently there's a problem about the fact that you're sitting out here showing your art.
That's right. They have been trying to get us out of here altogether and not do any work here.
I understand you're an older fella. How old are you?
82 years old.
82. And you're still doing this?
Yes.
You like doing it?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. How about you,
Do
ma'am?
not ask me my age.
I won't ask your age. You enjoy doing
Okay.
this?
Yes, yes, we enjoy it particularly. We've been in galleries. We've had our own gallery for years. But what's fun about this is that you're really meeting the people on the street. And so many of my paintings, I didn't know whether they were good or not good until I really see what the people are buying, what they're interested in, and it's been an education for me.
What are you going to do after Friday, after the new ordinance takes effect?
Well, we're waiting for the city to decide what they're going to do. They said they're going to have permits, but they don't know what kind of permits. They don't know how much. They don't know where they're putting us. We're also thinking going back into, closed gallery business. We just really haven't decided. we are very upset about these two ordinances because they're unconstitutional. They're blatantly unconstitutional.
Sends the clouds of flying, Mariah makes the mountains sound like the star of their dying.
Today either. I don't know what I'll do. But I will have a lot of time on my hands, and with that extra time, I plan to walk up and down the street with a sign on me asking people to decide where they, if they did enjoy the artists and entertainers, to start thinking before they buy and boycott those businesses that have been active to get rid of the artists and entertainers.
Hold one up again.
What's the deal, JD?
Well, I'm here to see what happens.
This is what's going to happen.
Planning it, I think,
Yes. Is that your correct name? That's not your real name. Steve. What is your real name? Roy White. Who? Any questions? No. No questions at all? No questions.
I do, actually.
Okay, let's make it in reference to the ordinance.
In reference to the ordinance.
Constitutional law.
In reference to the ordinance. If I'm not playing, if I don't have my bucket out, if I don't have my guitar, just singing out here, I'm in violation. Is that right?
For me. But it's not limited to acting, singing, playing musicians, pantomime, mime, magic dancing.
Okay, so any sing, if I sing at all anywhere on this street.
Interpretation from either your attorney or
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, what I need to know is if I'm singing and you warned me, then even if I'm not here performing this, well, I just need to know what you would say.
The ordinance says performing. Performing includes singing, playing musicians, acting.
Dancing. Right, well, once again, I have a question for you. If someone is singing in the crowd with me, are they also cited?
What if we're whistling?
Your heart chakra is a lot of compromise. A lot of people halfway when it comes to your emotions. You're definitely willing to try to meet people halfway or have compromise.
The new ordinance says anyone singing or dancing will be cited. Well, they've only warned us, the musicians. They haven't warned the public. And so tonight we're asking the public to sing and dance with us and get warned, get a warning from the city and see if the city's going to enforce this against everyone or just us. Because the law says no singing, no dancing of any kind. But as far as I know, none of the tourists and none of the visitors have been cited for singing and dancing. I had people dancing. The police stood right here. They didn't say anything to them, just to me. I had people singing. They didn't say anything to them, just to me. So they're only focusing on us. They're only enforcing this law against us and not against the general public. And that's selective enforcement.
So you have been warned today?
3 times.
You've been warned 3 times. Any idea what happens after the 3rd warning?
I expect a citation at some point.
But this is a public forum, see, so that's part of the problem in St. Augustine. They don't understand that. Part of the right to free speech is the fact that you have the right to be where the people are. The people are here. They're telling us we can go over in the ball field there, in the ballpark, and we can have free speech over there in the sun and in the wind. We can also have it down in the plaza, but the problem is there's no people there. So that's why we're fighting to stay here. They did this 5 years ago. I was arrested 17 times. They arrested me one time for whistling God Bless America. That guy with the white hat on against the window, he was arrested. They had him in a chokehold on the ground. He's an artist. He wasn't even selling the picture, but he had a bunch of pictures in a box, so they arrested him. They know it's illegal, and they're doing it anyway. One of the commissioners is an attorney. She even said, this will not stand up in the court of law. This is not constitutional what we're doing. They're saying you can't sing on the street here, you can't dance, you can't whistle. I think you can't hum, too. The silver statue, there's a girl, she's all silver. They gave her a citation, they were going to take her to jail. She's been cited.
I want you to cite me by my stuff. And that's what you're citing me. What are you citing me for? I am an artist. I am an artist.
That's for good.
That's for these kids to decide.
Okay. How old are you, sir?
I am 48. Brown. Brown. New York City.
So you know this is contact.
Good. I don't trust each other. Not as far as I can throw you. Not after you called me steadfast yesterday. Made faces at me in front of other people. No, I don't trust you. You did that. You did that in front of. You did that in front of witness.
That sounds like the kind of thing.
In front of witnesses.
No.
For what?
Failure to sign a citation.
I was trying to sign it.
You're not trying to
I was trying to sign it. I had a pen in my hand. Why are you grabbing my hands back like that? I was trying to sign it. Jan, take my hat. I was trying to sign the paper, and I was trying to sign it. Leave the hat here. Leave my hat. You're crushing my hat. Let go of my fingers.
Thank you, Jeff.
Push to get from other people that always have material gain more and more stuff. And I think that's where you carry the bag. Maybe you're not involved. It looks like that's not what you're unwarranted search and seizure of the unlawful arrest for giving away free reading. Religious freedom and the First Amendment right are dead, enforced by the sadistic SAPD.
Be merciful to me, O God. Be merciful to me. For my soul trusts in you. In the shadow of your wings I will make my refuge. Until these calamities have passed by, I will cry out to God Most High, to God who performs all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me. He reproaches the one who would swallow me up. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire.
Have the police faulted you at all for doing this? Have they? How long have you been doing this?
Oh, it's a month and a half.
A month and a half. Are you aware of the new ban performing and taking money and et cetera on St. George Street?
Yes, I'm neither a performer nor an entertainer.
I see. What is this?
This is the reading of the scriptures. This is preaching.
What's the money for?
What's the money for?
Yeah.
Well, if people wish to give me money, then they can. If people are in need of money, they can take some. It's just simply a bucket of money.
Have the police cited you or warned you or anything? No.
According to the First Amendment, I have the right to practice my religion.
Well, so do all these entertainers. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
They've all been arrested.
Yeah, but that's not religion.
They just arrested a guy for religion. The Dustin guy up there. He got arrested for a different kind of religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wondered. So they haven't bothered you at all. Can I ask your name?
Alan Hamer.
Alan Hamer?
Yes.
You from St. Augustine?
No.
Okay. Who are you with?
I'm with Christian Networking Ministers.
Your name, please?
Jeff Mason.
Mr. Mason, I have 4 cases here. All charging a violation of the city regulation of street performers. Case M.M. Mason, are you interested in accepting the offer?
No.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Happen to know who you will hire?
No.
Okay. You want to represent yourself to enter a plea of not guilty and get it set for pretrial so you can talk to a lawyer?
Yes.
You show the plea of not guilty entered on your behalf and set this case for pretrial, these cases for pretrial. And ask you to sign the notice.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if the court would entertain this oral motion, but the state would ask orally that Mr. Mason be prohibited from, as a condition of a lot of these cases ongoing, from going over there and performing a street performance in this region and getting new charges.
If you want to have that set for hearing, you can file a written motion and I'll be glad to set it for hearing, but I'm not going to make a ruling on that this time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I now have your file in front of me and you're charged with unlawful sale of services in violation of St. Augustine City Ordinance 22-6 from an incident on the 27th of March 2000 at 2:03 p.m. at 65 St. George Street. Says the defendant was observed by this officer engaged in the sale of services, that is, wrapping strands of customers' hair with colored pieces of string. yarn, and/or beads in return for monetary gain. This activity is prohibited by City Ordinance 22-6 and was occurring within Historic Preservation District Number 3. Prior to this incident, the defendant was warned about his illegal activity on 3 occasions. Mr. Burnett, do you have an offer to make to Mr. Garcia?
Your Honor, State would make the same offer, Mr. Garcia, with further adjudication of $150 in court costs.
Mr. Garcia, are you interested in accepting the offer?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any money to hire a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Other than the activity alleged here, do you have another job?
No, ma'am. I'm disabled.
I will appoint the public defender. I need you to come up and fill out the financial affidavit.
Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
On there it says service, and I don't think that's correct. I'm an artist.
Talk to your lawyer. You need to talk to your lawyer about your defense. Okay.
I'm Marjorie Jane Cole.
Ms. Cole, in case MM002108, you were cited with unlawful sale of merchandise in violation of City Ordinance 22-6 on the 25th of March 2000 at 3:48 p.m. at 98 St. George Street in St. Johns County. Says the defendant was observed by the officer engaged in the display of prints or paintings for sale. This activity was occurring within the Historic Preservation District. Okay. But at any rate, you're going to hire a lawyer. Okay. All right, we'll show the plea of not guilty entered on your behalf, set dates for pre-trial, and give you a copy of the notice for you and for your lawyer. If you will come up and sign the notice, we'll give you a copy. All right, Mr. Welch, you've indicated that you wanted to accept the offer the state made in your case. Are you entering a plea of no contest?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I'm not doing that.
I must have misunderstood something.
I must have misunderstood.
Okay. Okay. Tell me what it is. What plea do you want to enter in this case?
Well, I guess I'm going to say not guilty.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
just a misunderstanding there.
I must have misunderstood it, but, what he said there, yes, so, yeah.
All right, we'll show your plea of not guilty entered on your behalf. Do you have any money to hire a lawyer?
No.
Other than the activity alleged here, do you have a job?
No, that's what I do.